Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of Bird Brain 66 with your hosts. Out there, either to my left or my right, depending on how I have my screen, is Andy Teague. Say hi, Andy Teague.
Hi, Andy Teague. There he is.
There he is. Brian Brecht here, your other co-host. Today we are going to go over a really cool and unique set. I don't know, there's a little bit of a glare there. We're going to talk about the 1984 Nestle's cards that were produced by Topps. Exactly has the same look and feel of Topps. Andy's holding up Ozzie Smith right there. Here's
Right,
Mr.
the
Birdbug. There you
Nestle
go.
up there. There you
Yeah,
go.
that's what we're trying to do. See the Nestle up here in the corner. So it
And
mirrors.
also on the back there, just on the above the number.
Yep, good point. Forgot about that. So it mirrors exactly what the 84 run of the top set looks like, except for the Nestle logo on the front and on the back. 792 cards, um, 31 cards overall in the team set. But this was a unique set for a couple of different reasons. One is that it was only sold in sheets of 132 cards. So in order for Andy and I to come up with this cool looking set. There's Tommy Herr right there. Someone had to take, the time to figure out how to professionally get these cut to look sharp. Um, there were 6 sheets with 132 cards on it. And with that, Andy, I'll turn it over to you. What do you like about this unique set?
Well, it's a I mean, mirrored the 84 top set, so it's very nice looking. It's the general nice card stock on it, so they're not flimsy. So got everybody in. It's a full set, so 790, like you said, 792. So anything you saw in the regular top set was available in the Nestle's version. Kind of a difficult set to track down, as you said, because it was only done in sheets. And to find these things where they are actually, I mean, for the majority, I think most of mine are pretty centered and cut very nicely. So, I mean, whoever, I don't know who didn't did the majority of this, but they did a nice job on taking care of getting these things cut out of these sheets. And just a little on the 84 season, the Cardinals finished third, unfortunately, behind the first place Cubs that year, which was, I don't know how that, I don't remember the Cubs being that good in the 80s, but I guess they did have a run here and there. Cards were 84 and 78. At least they had a winning season that year. And want to point out a couple of guys out of this set because this will be the last time you see Oberkfell with the Cardinals as he was traded in June of that year. Great third baseman that we, had during that run and local guy too. So nice to see him. Good softball player too, by the way, if people didn't know that. Actually, an excellent softball player. And another guy I want to point out, and as many people may not know, he won 20 games in the 84 season. A lot of people didn't know that. He actually led the league, one of the league leaders, I think, in wins and innings pitched, and it might have been strikeouts as well. But one guy, he never got a lot of credit during his reign, but great pitcher for the Cardinals.
He was often misunderstood because he wanted to always talk to the media, and obviously I mean, he did have, I guess, some knowledge of the English language, but some of it may have been his own branding. I still like that he had one word for everybody, and that was, you never know, or one tough Dominican, and yeah, he was often overlooked. I think the crazy part about him, if you remember, he was a 20 game winner in 82, and then for
Yep,
whatever reason fell off the face of the earth in 83. I don't know if he was pitching with some injuries or whatever. And yeah, 84 was a great bounce back year for him.
I remember it. I think this you can correct me on this on Tommy Herr. Was 84 the year that he had the hundred? Oh, he had the hundred over 100 RBIs, or was that 85?
I think it was 85, the year that
Then we
yeah,
won't talk about that then.
yeah, 8 home runs and 110 RBIs.
Phenomenal. Here's a guy we never talk about, and I don't know why. I guess because of his nickname, I Sugar Bear. So
Yep.
Floyd Rayford came over from the Orioles, to the Cardinals. I don't know why I always laughed when he came up and they call him Sugar Bear every time they came up to bat. So just pointing him out, not a huge star or anything, but
Well, the unique part about him, remember, is that or excuse me, Lonnie Smith. I'm looking at Lonnie Smith's card. Tito Landrum, won the World Series with the Cardinals in '82, and we traded him to the Orioles for Sugar Bear. And then Lonnie, God, I keep saying Lonnie. Tito then won a World Series title with the Orioles in
yep,
'83. So it's kind of cool.
yeah. And if it's not Red Shandy's, it's Willie McGee.
There
So
you go.
nice. And I like the inset photo that they
Oh,
have on these too. That's another great feature that I like. And does this again in the 23 set. So this is another one of the features I always liked about Topps. The different sets that has a nice photo down in one of the corners, and then gonna get a nice action shot there as well. I think
and
every one of these is an action shot that
mm,
is in the 84 set. That's what makes the 84 set pretty nice. And one of the Cardinal all-time favorites, Andy Van Slyke, right there. This is matter of fact, this is his rookie card in '84. So anything out of '84 is Van Slyke's first year with the Cardinals. Had a pretty decent career with the Cardinals before going to the Pirates, but he actually excelled more. That's a guy right there.
I
Nothing
just
other than the fact that we lost Keith Hernandez to the Mets for Neil Allen. So that's just
that's always our showstopper when when we throw a Neil Allen card up on the screen. It's like the show, like the wheels on the bus kind of fall off. We kind of derail the whole thing showing Neil. Nothing against him, but just
no.
I know we had to move Keith under the circumstances. His problems that he had, and Herzog just needed to move him. And at the time, when you just need to move somebody, sometimes you take a bag of balls and a couple other things. And I'm not saying that Neil Allen was a bag of balls, but I think he actually did have a pretty decent season in 1983 before he started having some arm issues. So um, still a bittersweet trade.
Yep. And here we got I like this card because we got the guy is pretty underrated, Bob Forrest on here, and highlights his no hitter from the year prior along with Rigetti. Yeah. And it's just really cool card. I really like that.
So interesting tidbit about that is, they're not going to be very many of those cards in sets anymore because guys aren't pitching 9 innings anymore, and no hitters are becoming fewer and fewer and far between. I think there's a card out there similar to that one where there was like 7 no hitters in one season. That's again never going to happen in this age of baseball unless more rule changes come about. But I love that one, and I love the Force cards.
And here we go, the Stupor and Lonnie Smith. So I love these league leader cards and team leader cards and things. I love it when Topps has done that in the past and continues to do stuff like that because it's really cool. And the reason I say that is because just, the fact that with the Forge cards, you get players from other teams on there, just like,
Right.
here we go, the save leaders. And there's Hall of Famer Bruce Sutter with Tug McGraw. McGraw always one of my favorites from another team because he was such a character. And the father of Tim McGraw for all those country music fans out there.
Mhm.
There's some music for you.
Yeah. So Doug was the closer for the '80 World Series. Philly, remember,
Correct.
he hit that glove on on his thigh right there. I just held this one up just because always good, huge Daryl Porter fan because he did bring home the '82 World Series. But again, another one that's bittersweet for Andy and I because it involved moving to the Brewers in that three team trade. Was it? Let's see, it was the Cardinals, the Brewers, and the Padres, right?
Yeah. And also during this particular year, Nestle did another set called Dream Team. I'll throw up in there. Only one Cardinal in there. There's Ozzy. So, and then there's only 22 cards in that particular set.
So going back to that one, hold the one back up again, and then I'll hold up the Porter one again. So what was cool about this is that obviously Nestle had an agreement with the Major League Players Association as well as Major League Baseball because obviously you see the birds on the bat and on Ozzy's
Yep.
hat, you see the STL. So it was done. Andy and I can't begin to tell you how many oddball sets we have or full sets where someone didn't like Panini right now that doesn't have an agreement. And so you see all these great cards, but you'll just see a red ball cap with no
Yep.
STL on it or the uniform where they've had to Photoshop out the team logo. So anytime that you see something that has the logos on it, you know that that particular company had an agreement with Major League Baseball, which I applaud Nestle because Nestle did have a couple of short runs like that Ozzie Smith card in there here and there, but to do a full set of 792 cards was interesting. And in my research, I forgot to write it down. If it was in there, I didn't see it. Was this like the an anniversary for Nestle or what? I
I'm not
didn't.
sure why they did that, but I think, and it's also, I think that's the only time that another company had a full run based on the top set. So I think full set. So that's pretty interesting that they actually did that.
Right. And again, why they were sold in full sheets and why it was only a production run of 4,000. So if you do see any of these cards out there, regardless of what team it is that you collect, I would pretty much pounce on that right away. And if you're fortunate to find a full team set of whoever it is, I would
Yeah.
definitely go
I
for
know that
that.
Madley's card is pretty tough to get for the Yankees. That's his rookie year as well, for those not aware of that. And also
Mhm.
January 9th of 1984. I just had to throw that out there, so we haven't had any Van Halen trivia for a while. 1984 was released, so there's Edward. But I thought I'd throw that out there.
Very nice.
Great albums of the 1980s. So if you don't
And
haven't heard it, listen to it.
what's your okay, just for a second. So what's your most underrated song on there and what's your favorite song on there? Favorite one is going to be tough.
Boy, that is not to think about it for just a second. I'm gonna have to probably go with Drop Dead Legs. I think that is probably for me is the most underrated song on the album.
I would say I would agree with that. And I also like Top Jimmy. What's your favorite?
Favorite? Oh man, that's a tough one too. Obviously, we got the Panama Hot for Teacher, Jump, I'll Wait, were all the
The
favorites.
hits. Yeah.
Um, I like House of Pain too. I mean, that's another
Mhm.
great great song on there.
So when we had our pickup baseball team our senior year, Panama was kind of my song, even though I was not a pitcher. I did for whatever reasons get the opportunity to pitch because I was a lefty, but that was kind of my warm up song was Panama. Jump was the one that you and I recorded that time at Six Flags and had a blast doing that. So in terms of the connection between, I mean, the whole album is a great connection between the two of us, but probably I always think of us at Six Flags standing in that studio
And
and
that's the recording studio, yeah.
yeah, and then remember we were yelling so much that the system locked up. I don't know if it was because we were yelling or we had to actually do it a second time. So great memory. So for me, Panama first.
I'll give Jump and Panama a tie on that one because I can't come up with which one I would favor over the other.
Yeah, and definitely House of Pain. That's an underrated one as well. So all righty, well let's throw up one more card and then we should wrap this up. Is there anybody in there that we are kind of forgetting about? You showed Ozzy, we showed Suter. Any other
Well, I wouldn't say,
unsung heroes?
but we did fail to mention the two All-Star cards that are in there, George
Mhm.
and Ozzy, Ozzy Smith. So I just like the look of the '84 set overall anyway, even the regular issue tops. So, and there's, some unsung heroes in there too. Dane Orrs, Mike Ramsey, some of the other
LaPointe, Lottie.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at all these guys. Yeah, they did. I mean, for 30 for 31 cards, it's pretty cool. So I'll just go back and just throw up one other guy. I always like this guy. Talk about a gamer off the bench, Mr. Pinch Hit. So I'll,
Yep.
I'll close with it was a tie between he and Mr. Brummer as to who to
Yeah.
close with. So I'll close with Steve Braun. Great, great. But yeah, to your point, and to finish off, kudos to Nestle's, and then kudos to Tops for just a great design
Yep.
set. Sentimental reasons, but really do love this set for lots of reasons. So with that, do you want to close?
Well, folks, we're on everything, I think. At Bird Brain 66 is our tagline there. So you find us on the Facebook, the Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and soon to be, I know we keep saying this on our website, it's coming. It might already be by the time this is on there, but it's
Yep, that's cool. Yep. So yep.
and full-time jobs getting in the way. So we are still working on that.
Yeah.
Get there.
Somebody asked me that the other day, how do you guys do this? And I said, it's a challenge at times, but we do appreciate you joining us. And yeah, all of those were at Bird Brain 66 at all of those social media outlets. And here we are on YouTube. So thank you guys on that.
Later. Thanks. Appreciate everybody joining us and supporting us. We'll see you later.
Thank you.